Welcome to this yin yoga practice for the lower body, and welcome back to Devi Daily Yoga. This sequence moves through deep stretches for the quads, hip flexors, hamstrings, and spine. Let's begin in butterfly. Come to a seated position. Bring your feet together. Allow your knees to fall out to the sides. You might want to sit on a cushion for some extra lift. And you can try pulling your feet closer or letting them come farther out in front of you to see what feels best as you start to feel out this stretch in the inner thighs, the inner groins, and the lower spine. Settling into a comfortable position where we'll rest for 2 minutes. You might hold around your toes, you might rest your hands or elbows on the floor, or rest your head on a block or another yoga prop. Take a deep breath in now and relax as you exhale, softening through the shoulders, the back of the neck, and the upper spine. Feel your body relaxing into gravity. Continue to rest and relax and soften here as you breathe in and out. Slowly begin to release butterfly, gently rising up with the spine coming upright. And extend the legs forward. And feel the energy coming back into the legs and the hips and the thighs. Might feel good to shake the legs out a little bit, one at a time. And from here, we're going to shift into a one-legged forward bend, half butterfly. Bend your right leg, place your right foot to your inner upper thigh, and turn to face towards your extended leg, beginning to come forward toward the leg. Your hands might climb down onto your shin, your ankle, or your foot, or you might choose to take the hands on the inside of the leg, resting your weight on your hands or on your elbows, or maybe using props under the forehead or under the forearms. And the option is there once again to sit on a cushion if you would like to intensify the sensations. Take a breath in now. As you exhale, soften into the forward bend, allowing the spine to relax, allowing the shoulders to round, and allowing the head and the neck to relax. Feeling the stretch in the back of the left leg, in particular the hamstrings on the back of the left thigh, and also throughout the lower back. Allow the body to slowly melt into this shape, patiently letting the fascia expand and soften. releasing into gravity. Slowly now begin to come up from half butterfly. Bring your spine upright and take a breath here. As you exhale, twist toward your right, placing your left hand on the outside of your knee and your right hand on the floor behind you. Exhale to slowly release and twist over to the other side. And slowly release to face forward and change legs to come into half butterfly on the second side. Bring your left foot to your inner upper thigh, and you can shift your sitting bones to make sure you feel comfortable as you come forward over the leg, wherever it's comfortable for the hands to hold, or simply rest the hands on the shin or on the floor. Beginning to sense the effects of the pose on this side, the back of the right leg and thigh, the lower back. Feel into any tension and breathe into it to invite a slow and gentle release. Slowly now come up from half butterfly. As you bring your spine upright, notice what you feel in your legs and your spine. Take a gentle twist now toward your left. Place your right hand on the outside of the left knee. Pull yourself around gently with your left hand. And release to twist gently over to the second side. Come back through center and shift to cross legs so you can come onto hands and knees, placing knees under the hips and hands under the shoulders, moving through hip circles. Let the hips come to the right and back, to the left and forward, Continue a couple more times in this direction, feeling the energy move through hips and thighs and lower back. And one more time in this direction. And then change to go the other way about 3 times nice and slow, sensing into the muscles, the joints, and the connective tissues of your lower body. Slowly find your way back to center and come to dragon pose. Step your right leg forward. Place your hands on the inside of your front foot and walk your right foot out to the right side. Option to stay here or take it into dragon tail, reaching the right hand back to hold the inside of the left foot and pulling the foot toward you as you sink down through the hips and lift through your chest. It might feel good to stay here with the hips more square. Second option is to do it a little more asymmetrically by opening the right shoulder back and letting the left hip dip toward the floor. We're targeting the front of the left thigh and the front of the left hip. And if you don't quite have this clasp of the foot, use a strap wrapped around your left foot or keep the foot down for a more familiar dragon lunge. Wherever you are, breathe into what you feel in this one-sided back bending pose. Slowly release dragon tail and come to gecko, placing the hands down on the inside of the foot, perhaps resting down on elbows or resting elbows on top of a yoga block. If it feels good, you might let the right knee come out to the side a bit more, opening up that dragon wing. Notice the sensation and how it shifts, maybe into the front hip this time, the right hip. And wherever you're feeling the sensation, breathe into that place, softening tension and inviting spaciousness. Slowly begin to rise up from your lunge and take it into downward dog, stepping the front foot back. And in your dog, go ahead and walk out your legs, feeling the thighs and the hips after our dragon, tail, and gecko on one side. Feeling the energy move through the lower back. And when you're ready, drop the knees. Step the left leg forward for dragon on the second side. Staying in the lunge, take your time feeling into the stretch in the front of the right hip and thigh, the quads, the hip flexors on the right side. Maybe keeping the hands on the inside of the foot, or maybe supporting yourself with your right hand as you reach your left arm back and come to dragon tail. And here, maybe it feels good to pull on the foot to draw the heel closer to the glutes, or to open the shoulder back and dip down through the right hip, coming into more of a twisted dragon tail. Feeling out the variations till you find the stretch that feels good in your body. Begin to release dragon tail, slowly bringing it down into gecko. With both hands on the inside of the front foot, stay up on straight arms or come down to elbows. Option to use blocks under the elbows. And soften into the sensations you feel here throughout the hips and the thighs. Breathing deep into the center of the pelvic bowl. Slowly release, coming up from gecko. Tuck the back toes, step back to downward dog, and walk it out. Bending one knee at a time, massaging through the lower back, the hips and the thighs. Drop down onto your knees now and settle into a seated position for square, where we'll stretch into the outer hips. Bend your right knee and place your left ankle on your right knee, stacking the shins. Or for something that's easier on the knees, place your left foot on the floor and cross at the shins instead. With either variation, we come forward, resting on straight arms or down on your elbows, feeling the stretch in the glutes and the left buttock. If this pose doesn't feel good in your body, you can take figure 4 as an alternative, lying on the back, left ankle over the right knee, holding on to the back of the right thigh or the front of the right shin. Whichever pose you're in, softening into gravity, breathing into the tension that you feel in the hips, inviting it to slowly release. Slowly release the first side of square, moving right into the second side. Take your time switching legs, staying on the back if you're in that figure 4 pose. Right ankle on top of the left knee, or the modified crossed ankles with both feet on the floor. And wherever you are, whichever version of the pose you're in, feel the stretch and the opening in the outer right hip, the right glutes. Breathe into this area and settle into a patient and slow stretch, inviting yourself to simply rest and allow it to happen. Very, very slowly now, release the pose and come onto your back, taking your time getting there. And once we arrive on the floor, we'll take our final yin posture, which is spinal twist. Before we head there, let's circle the knees and massage the lower back. With one hand on each knee, circle around clockwise, massaging around the edges of the sacrum, circling the other way, breathing space into the lower body. And now release the feet to the floor to come into a twist. Spread the arms out to either side, shift the hips to the left and let the knees come to the right. Remembering that in twist you can choose to cross the left knee over the right or keep the knees uncrossed and stacked on top of each other. Our target area is the spine, the ribs, the left side of the chest, and the outer left hip and thigh. Take a breath into what you feel and exhale to soften into it a little more deeply, welcoming restfulness and stillness. Slowly release the twist now and bring the legs to center for constructive rest. Feet wide, knees resting against each other at the center. Hands resting on the body. Take a big breath into the body. Let it go. And slowly now spread the arms out to the sides for your twist on the second side. Knees over to the left. Option to cross right knee over the left. Feeling into the spine as it twists in the center of the body. Breathe into the ribs as they twist. As you exhale, soften through the right shoulder and chest. Allowing your body to relax into the support of the floor. Very, very slowly now, lift the knees back to center, untwisting the body to come into star, spreading out on the floor, arms and legs generously spaced out. This final time of rest and integration. This is the time when the body is fully relaxed. And we invite the healing and repair that comes after a practice like this of slow, static stretching. Take a deep breath in and let it go as you release the weight of your body even more into the support of the earth below. Now take a deeper breath into your belly and into your heart. And as you exhale, gently wiggle fingers and toes and stretch out into your arms and legs. Clasping hands above the head and press the palms up and away with a big inhale. Exhale and slowly bend the knees and roll onto your side. Gently come up to a seated position. Take a comfortable seat of any kind. Sit with your spine tall and place your palms together in front of your heart. And now circle the arms around as you inhale. Meet your palms overhead, gaze up. Exhale and pull the hands down in front of the heart. And that's our practice today. I hope you enjoyed this sequence for the legs and the lower back. Let me know how this practice was for you in the comments below. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe to my channel. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like button. I hope to see you on the mat again very soon. Thanks for joining me.